Hi, I'm GeoDav, and let's say this will be the first video in a extremely long series where I'm going to show you how I how I get custom content into Unreal Tournament 3. Now we're going to be doing weapons, vehicles and characters. You never know, maybe towards the end, if I get really adventurous, we'll put it all together into a little full-scale mod. Okay, I don't think we're going to get that far, but we'll see how it goes. Now, a lot of people will say, well, where do you start? Well, the best place to actually start is in the Unreal Editor. And the reason why I say this is, in a lot of cases, when you're doing modding for Unreal Tournament, there's an old little saying where it goes, monkey see, monkey do. And that is where, to be honest, is the very best place to start when doing modifications and custom content for Unreal Tournament. For the simple reason, you've got everything here. Now, Epic has been very kind in over the years with every time they bring out Unreal Tournament, they give us this new improved editor, but they also give us access to all their content that they've put into this game. Now, the first place I'm going to start looking at, well, let's go for the easy ones first, shall we? I know I had it on the characters there, but we'll go for the easy ones first. It's the way my tutorials are set up anyway. Okay, we'll start with the rifles. Okay, well, the weapons, the shot rifles. Now, the reason why I picked this one, which I've also picked for my written tutorial, is because it's pretty much code-wise and content-wise the simplest one to play with. Okay? Now, let's have a look at the... Well, start off, we'll look at the package as it is. Now, as you can see, we've got the naming conventions that Epic has picked. So, a weapon package, to make things easier for you and everybody else. Alright, let's stick to these conventions. We'll go for WP for weapon and shock rifle. Okay? That's very simple. And inside each package, you've got these extra little folders. Okay, well, we can call them folders or directories or whatever you want. You've got the anims, the effects, the materials, the mesh and the particles. Now, before we start going at the particles and everybody getting a big mega hype on these, I will not be touching them for a long time. Okay, so we'll just be using the stock stuff that you get with the game. And the main thing that these tutorials will be covering is actually getting the mesh in the game with whatever animations that you need to actually get into the game, so you can actually use this without getting loads of errors and things looking extremely stupid. Okay, so when I mentioned just a few minutes ago, monkey see, monkey do. Alright, now if we're going to replace the shock rifle, then you need to have a look at what the shock rifle has. Now, as you can see here, we've got 3 different skeletal meshes. Okay, and let's be serious. I mean, you guys ain't thick. So when it says 1p, that obviously means first person. And you can tell by the actual amount of triangles on this weapon, because we've got 4,244 triangles. Okay, 14 bones, 1 chunk, 1 section. We'll talk about them later. Okay, and then you've got 3p, which is a third person. Now, the third person one is always lower in your triangles or your polygon counts, for the simple reason you'll have a lot more of these actually on the screen, on the map, being rendered all the time, where your computer, when you use the shock rifle, will only be rendering one of these. Okay, so it's all optimization. So you can have, let's say, anywhere up to, I'd go for anywhere up to 6,000 polygons or triangles for your first person weapon, but try to keep around 2 to 2.5 for your third person. Okay, as you can see here, it's got 2 bones. Now we'll have a look at that in a minute. Okay, the cine version, well, no, I think we'll take a main guess that these are used for the cinematic screenshots, and why that's in there I don't know, because that looks to me the exact same setup as the third person. Maybe the bones are set up a little bit different. Anyway, let's go have a look at these weapons. Okay, now, okay, let's just click this up, double click on it, and you get into the Unreal Anim Set editor, going all this, and you can have a look at this and you go, ooh, lots of nice effects here, doesn't that look pretty? Now you think, yeah, I can do that, but what you've got to remember is all the little things that go along with these. Now I'll make the suggestion, instead of just watching all these videos and go, yeah, try and do everything by rote, have a look, just click on these buttons, on these triangles, have a look exactly what on earth they've been doing. Now if you want to replace, say, like you want to do a different type of shock rifle, you just want to replace the mesh, well, these are the things you need to be sort of looking at. Okay, all these little factors, you go all through these editors looking at all these little bits and pieces. Cloth, do you really think we're going to need that? Nah. Okay, let's be sensible about things. You've got to look at it and say, okay, have a quick run through. If there's anything there that you can see, yes, we're going to need, then fine. Okay, keep it in mind. If not, we'll just leave it. Now you can see here, in a lot of cases when you export a weapon, as I do on my videos, I will always have the root or the base bone of that mesh on 000. Okay, now obviously Epic for some reason has moved this. Now that, I would suggest, this being the first person mesh, let's see if I can sort of like, yeah, not quite the first person view, but that's the sort of thing you're going to be looking at, that's what you're going to be seeing. Now obviously they've done this to make things look a little bit better in game, and obviously people using different versions of the game, different setups. Now if you're going to replace this mesh and you don't want to go messing about too much in the code, you look at the mesh, open it up and say, right, now the one I'm going to use, I'm then going to set X at being -5, Y at 21 and Z at -4. Alright, your rotations you can leave fine, all the rest of it you leave fine, tick the boxes, never knowing what these boxes are for, but you tick them anyway because Epic's ticked them. Okay, now that's this little bit. Anim set, well, we don't need this at the moment, we'll deal with that later. And obviously this lot here, now for weapons you don't really need things like that. Now one thing that is important with the weapons, okay, is not that one, is this one, the socket manager. Okay, now you will, every weapon you create, you're going to have to do this. Now as you can see, you got the muzzle flash socket and the MF socket. Now we'll come again these in the code later when we start playing with the weapons code, but these are things to take note of. Write these names down, put them in a text file so that later you can just copy paste and off you go. The next thing we need to look at, or is advantageous to look at, all these little buttons along here. Okay, now a lot of them you won't use it in most cases. But just have a look. Show the skeleton. Oh, what's that then? Well, these are all the bones that your weapon has. Well, this weapon has. Okay. Now you can see the alignment of these. Look down here. You've got your XYZ, and you've got your XYZ here. Alright, these are the things you need to be looking at to make sure that everything you do fits together along with these. Now another thing that you can do here, you go, oh, click on that and you get all the names. Now sometimes you'll actually find these names actually in the code because they're accessing certain bone names. Okay. Now, what else we got? Well, look, you can have a look at it and go, oh, so that's how they've made this mesh. Yeah, wireframe mode. Reference pose doesn't really affect the weapons. Okay, so that's a quick look in here. Now, don't forget, have a look through all these little buttons. See what they do. Oh, look. Import an anim set, new morph target set. All these little things, show this, show that, show the other. Yeah, mesh. All these things to have a look at, have a play with when you've got a bit of time on your hands, just to get yourself up and running on what all these do. Don't forget, you look. Well, we haven't got an anim orb dispenser, have we? No. So as you can see, all the anim names start with a K. Yeah, makes things easier. K, WP for a weapon. So what we're looking for then? Shock rifle 1, first person. And then you've got that. Now you can just pick that up. You go, oh, alt fire. Press the button. Whee! There you go. Let's get it back into full colour. Turn the names off. Turn the skeleton off. Have another look. There you go. See? Now, if you're doing weapon changing, then you're going to need these. These are the names that you need to write down, because these get called by code. Okay? Right, that's enough for them, that they're boring. Okay, that's the weapons. You can have a look at the rocket launcher, because that's slightly different. You look at the anims, and you've got the base anims. That's an anim tree. The rocket launcher is a bit of a special case. But don't forget, you got third person anims. You got first person anims. Okay. These, look at your packages. These tell you what the weapon has, what the content is. Okay, let's go have a look at the manta. Right, you go, oh, look at that, lots and lots and lots of stuff in there. You go, ooh. Right, let's start off with the mesh. Okay, having a look at the mesh. Yet again, double click on it, into the anim viewer, have a look. First thing I always do, socket manager, and you go, oh look, we've got all these sockets. And trust me, all these sockets actually get called in game, in the code. And what these sockets do, they apply effects. Gun socket 1. Oh, could that be a fire effect? Wing right socket. Is that going to be where the fan effect is? And the same down here, tailpipes, exhaust ports, rudders, links. Well, what do you think a link 4 is? Maybe that when you fire the link gun at the back, it actually attaches to this point. Okay, it's little things like this, view sockets, blade sockets, vehicle death sockets, all these little things you need to go in and have a look at. Okay, now you've got other bits here. You look at the materials. I mean, you can't see that wrote there, but we'll go. Yep, there you go. There's a matte red. Click on that, and it will show you the material. There we go, up there. Little tricks like this all helps. Yeah, tick the boxes. we'll go into all these things. Oh look, level of detail info. Oh, now that's different, isn't it? They didn't have them in the weapons. Maybe we're going to need them later, which we will. So all these little things in here. Okay, just go in, click on the buttons. Don't forget, monkey see, monkey do. What else we got? Yeah, that's since I reinstalled the Unreal Tournament onto another section of my hard drive. I keep on getting calls like that. Have a look at the Goliath. What else we got there? Oh, what's this? A physics asset? And you go in there looking at that, you like that. Oh, chassis, object, boxes. And what do these things do? Look, just looking at everything. Okay, you click on that, it changes. You're like, oh, yeah, lots of little things and pieces. This is the point I'm really trying to get over to you, is that everything that you need to learn. What I'm going to have one of these because you'll like these. As you can see, characters. Alright. One of the biggest points people keep on asking is, why do you have to have everything in separate parts? Well, it just makes more fun. You can have say like a fellow. Let's see if I can open his head up. Zoom in there. There we go. You can have him with Reaper's body. Well, why not? If that's what you want to have, you can do that. Now I'm just looking to see if here we go. You're gonna like this one. Not a lot, but you're going to like it. Now, characters. Lots and lots of things with characters. Alright, as you can see, well, if I go back here, obviously you've got all your meshes, and then you've got all your materials. Lots and lots and lots of materials and textures. Yes, I'm scrolling down here like a lunatic. You've got to learn a lot about these, setting them up, getting the names right, and all the rest of it. Otherwise things just don't work and you start scratching your head. But look how they've done it. Look how they've got it all set up. Okay, a little look. You're like that. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got the current texture body 01, V01, which is parented to the Twin Souls base, which is in turn parented to the All Base 02. Now why is that? Well, we'll go into that later, but in the meantime you can start looking. I'm not going to click on them now, but you can go have a look at those. Okay, have a bit of fun with that, and you'll look at them and go, oh my god. Now this is one, just make sure I fully load this. You'll like this. A lot of people don't know a lot about these. It's the physics assets for the characters. Yeah, thank you. What we'll do, we'll just open one of these and notice the package that I'm on. Okay, character, anim, human. If you want to have a look at this, go in and have a look at this. Okay, there he is, stood up in the air. Now these are all the part of the physics assets for the humans. Okay, you can see them all listed here. Now, see the little play button, toggle simulation. Oh, he's just ragdolled. Yeah, there you go. He's shaking away. Okay, now a lot of people have found these bits, but like I say, click on your buttons. What happens if I click editing mode? Why is that? Why is there a button there? You go, oh, there we go. Goes into the constraints mode, and there you can see the constraints of the ragdoll. Okay, just little things. Yeah, that's one of the little quirky bits on there. It's like I say, you've got to look at the whole picture. Okay, not just a little bit. Okay, try and look at the whole picture. If you're doing a weapon, have a look at all the weapons. See how it's set up. Not just in the editor, but also in the code. Okay? Now, I'll leave it at that as a little taster. I know it's a bit boring, me just clicking on things and not really describing what they do and where they go and what's the point of it all. The idea of this little video is to give you an eye-opener at what you should be looking at, and to go in and actually have a look and see what it all does. Because if you want to make your content work in the game, you're going to have to learn it all. And trust me, it takes time. Don't get down when things don't work and you're like, oh, I'm never going to get this done. Of course you will. I'll be on the forums. So are a lot of other people that are willing to help you. Just give us a shout. Tell us what you're doing, where you're having problems, and I'm sure somebody will help you. Okay? So the next time we'll actually look at a little bit on the code side and maybe a few other things. But it's, like I say, monkey see, monkey do. Once you've actually learnt it all, that's when you can go in and start playing around with things, changing, trying to get different effects and all the rest of it. But the idea is just to get your content in game so you can play with it. Okay, we'll leave it at that for the moment, and I'm sure we'll come back and see this at a time in the near future. Okay, bye bye.